Hello there, my loves. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. It's my Saturday song. Let me fix this camera. These lights. Don't know what's going on here with my camera. Let me find myself to make sure that I am in the right space. Is that me? Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Awesome, awesome. Happy Saturday, guys. Happy Saturday. I'm excited to talk to you guys today. I did something this morning that was really interesting, and it made me have quite a few revelations about myself. And I thought that I'd bring them to you because I had to grab my journal and I had to write it all out. It's just like, whoa, this is so very interesting, and I think you're going to find it interesting too. And just like I put in the description of this video, it is really about what do you want to see in 10 years when you Google your name. So I've been coaching for 8 years. It's about 8 years, almost 8 years. And so it's a little over seven and a half, maybe. I don't know. But, and so I don't know what prompted me to do this. Like, honestly, like I really don't. Actually, that's not true. I do. I was in the shower this morning and I was thinking about how the things that I coach on, the things that I teach, has been the culmination of all the things that I've been learning over the years, all the things that I've been implementing in my life that work so magically for me, and just being able to come here into this space and online spaces and any other place and just be able to share those things is what I've always wanted. Like, I've always just wanted to share things, get paid, and live free. Like, basically, that's the way I wanted to build my business and live my life, but I didn't think that it was actually possible. What? Yes, exactly. So as I was thinking about all this in the shower, about where I started, where I'm at now, and I've actually come full circle, and it's so crazy to me because I don't have anything. Like, I have nothing. None of the things that I've done, like, for the past, I say since 2013 to about 2016, maybe 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe even 17. From 2013 to 2017, I have none of the things that I created. Absolutely none of them. I don't have pictures. I don't have images. I don't have documents. I don't have, actually, I do have some of the documents, some of them that I created in a Google Drive. But if it was saved on my computers, I don't have it because I don't have those computers anymore. So one, it's a good thing about the internet, and also a reminder to make sure you're backing up your stuff, but at this point it's not super, super important that I have those things, but it was just a remembrance that I don't have any of those things. I don't have anything. So, and I think that that revelation that I don't have anything, and so in my mind it's like I don't truly, truly remember all the things that I created. And because of that, a lot of what I'm doing now feels new to me, even though it's not. It's something that I've been teaching on since 2013 in some form or fashion. So this morning, after I got the shower, I Googled my name and an old business name that I had. And so then I saw the things that came up, even like an old YouTube channel, which is still up, by the way. I'm not going to tell y'all what it is because I don't want y'all to look at it. But even my son, who's now 13, he was on this video and he was like 4, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so I showed it to him. He was completely embarrassed by being on this YouTube channel talking about shish kebabs and whatever. But anyway, so I bring all this up because what I realized in looking at all of the things on the YouTube channel on Google and seeing some of the things that I've created, and it's just like, wow, I remember that, I remember that. Basically, everything that I've been teaching on is the same. Like, it's the same. And if you were to ask me, I would tell you, like just a couple of months ago, I would tell you, oh, I just started coaching on this like 2 years ago. No, I didn't. I didn't just start coaching on this 2 years ago. I started coaching on this in this way 2 years ago, but I've always coached on the you building the lifestyle, the business, the whatever, based off of who you are and connecting with the divine, getting your soul's guidance so that you can know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing and do that. And it's so funny to me to know that basically just a few months ago, if when I started like with the Lux Coach lifestyle, if you were around then, and it's just like, oh, I just started, I just started coaching in this way, and it's like, no, no, actually, I didn't. I started coaching in this way, like the words that I use, but when I looked back, a lot of the words that I use in some form or fashion are the same. Like if maybe I talked about then I talked about goddess and stuff like that, and basically that's just a term for your inner knowing, your innate knowing, and that kind of thing. So it's not really why is this like not right here? Anyway, it's not like it was like two totally different things. It's the same. It's just that I use different words to describe it. That's there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. I use different words to describe it. And so one of the things that came up for me in reading all of the things that came up for me on the internet is just like, oh my gosh, I remember that, and I use a lot of um, soul. I use that word a lot. Like that's something that to my core that I truly believe in, and I hadn't even really realized that so much. Have you ever done that? Like, have you ever thought about what it is that you can't not talk about because it's just who you are? It's just part of your values. It's part of the truth that you find to be um, for yourself, for the world, for like all of the things. And what else came up for me, and I actually wrote a post about this morning, is I was in a group and I the somebody was sharing an offer that they created, and they were talking about how it's not a regurgitated like it's not just uh, information or tools or techniques or whatever that has been regurgitated from somebody else's course or trainings or whatever. And I was just like, okay, that's an interesting way to look at things. It's an interesting perspective. And like I totally get what she was saying. Like she was saying that this is unique and this is what it is that I've created, and it's not just something that I learned from someone and that I'm now basically sharing it with you of the things that I've learned. So I truly get what it was she was saying. And then that thought kind of led me to, well, I can literally pick out who's being coached by who's being influenced by who, because of the things that they say, how they're showing up, and the offers that they're creating. And I didn't find that to be a bad thing. So when I thought about that in reference to what the lady said about people regurgitating the things, that they've learned, the courses and stuff like that, it just like I understand what she meant. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I totally understand what it is that she was saying, but 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 when I really thought about it, people are influenced by the things that they like, right? It's because they connect with it on a cellular level, on some kind of level, on a soul level, on a surface level, even whatever. People connect with it, and so when they find something that they actually really like, then it's just natural that they share it. So it's kind of like if you had if you found a new way to dry your clothes, you liked the dryer balls or the things you stick in the dryer, or a new dryer sheets or whatever, okay, whatever, then you're going to talk all about that because that's something that you just absolutely love. You found it to be the truth for you. You found it to be something that is working very well for you. So why wouldn't you share it? Is it a problem that Downey made that and that you, that you didn't, and you're just telling everyone about it, and that's what's working for you? How is that a problem? How is it not a problem for you to do that? But then when it comes to you being a coach and selling things that works for you, then that's a problem because you got it from somebody else. You're regurgitating what it is that you've learned how is that different? Like I don't get that at all. And really, like I think about my own coaches, especially the coaches that I have now. The coaches that I have now, I pick them because they were speaking my language. Like the things that they put out are totally just who they are, and it's totally who I am. So, how is it that because they use the word soul, and that's a word that I totally and am in alignment with. I love that whole idea of soul alignment. They use that word, and I'm connected to them because they're using that word. Again, they're speaking my language, so of course I'm going to sound like them. Why wouldn't I? We're like attracts like that's the words that I use. And when I looked back on all of the things that I've created that came up for me online, it's the same words that my coaches are using. Now, I just got my coaches within the last 2 years. I've been coaching since 2013. So you can say that somebody's emulating something, but if it's something that's part of their core, then those are words that they were going to use anyway. Do you understand that those were words they were going to use anyway? So even if it looks like I'm copying or regurgitating my coaches, when I look back on my history of all the things that I've been coaching on and the words that I've used, it's the same thing. And I just found them a couple of years ago. So you can't really say that I am copying them or regurgitating them because I've been using these words long before I met them. But what if that's not true for somebody else? What if you guys are finding me and you love the words that I'm using, soul led, soul aligned, soul inspired, all of that. What if you love those words and then you start using them and then people think, oh, you're just regurgitating what I just said? No, no, you're not. I want you to look at that kind of perspective that people get to believe what they want to believe. Like they truly do. You get to believe what you want to believe. Everybody else gets to believe what they want to believe. And I choose to believe that if you're using the word soul align and you found me because I'm using the word soul align, it's just because that's who you are. That's who you are at your core. That's I'm using words that resonate with you because that's just who you are. The message that I'm sharing, the message that I'm standing on is just who I am. And if you're resonating with that message, then it's just who you are. Why does it have to be that someone's regurgitating something or someone's copying off of someone? Like it doesn't have to be that way because it's just a resonance. Like, does that make sense to you? I hope that it does. And for people who choose to not view this perspective as what it is that they are wanting to see or what it is that they actually see, that's okay too. Like people get to believe what it is that they want to believe. And I sometimes have a hard time remembering that when I see things like, hey, regurgitating what somebody said, when I see things like that and I think, well, why would they say such a thing? But then I have to also remember that they're just coming from their own perspective and they get to do that and it's totally okay. Like it's totally okay for them to say something like, I'm not regurgitating what it is that I learned from a course or a program. Totally fine for them to say that. And totally fine for the people who vibe with that kind of mentality to work with that person. Totally fine. People are going to like gravitate towards me. People are going to gravitate towards you. People are going to gravitate towards the next person and whoever because of the energy and the words that they're using. That's why it's super important for your messaging to be right. That's why it's super important for your messaging to be right because that's what allows your soulmate people to know that you are the person who can help them. Like they're going to vibe with you because of the words that you're using. They're going to vibe with you because of the content that you're putting out. They're going to vibe with you because of who you are showing up as like just really in your truth. Like that's one of the things that I stand on so heavily is like you can just be whoever it is that you are and show up as just who it is that you are because somebody's going to vibe with that. Like none of us are unicorns as much as we like to believe we're unique and special because that's what our mommies told us. You're so special. We are very special and unique, but there are a gazillion people who think like we do, who resonate with the things we resonate with, who want the same kind of energy that we have, that we're bringing to the table out here, that we're allowing everybody to experience us in. People want that because that's just who they are, right? So we can just know, like we know that when we show up in however the hell that we want to show up, no matter what nobody says, who you think you copying and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I'm shaking my head, not my fingers and everything, because people just vibe with who they vibe with because that's just who they are. So, I have some questions for you. And I wrote them in here in the description, and I really want you to really think about them. What is it that you just can't not share? One of the things that we're going to be going over in Freedom Rebel, which is just starting next week, and it's free, it's right here in the group for 3 days. One of the things we're going to be going over to help you really connect with the messaging that soul is having for you to share with the world and with the people who you truly vibe with. And I truly believe that everyone in this world has a purpose. Like we're not here in this space on earth for no reason. We're here for a reason. Like I truly believe that. And I'm a person who I knew at a very early age that I was different. And when I say different, I'm not talking about, oh, I'm special and can, just like, talk to God and, all those kinds of things, even though I think we all have those abilities. I've always felt like I was a little different. I was a little weird because that's what I was told, is that, oh, you're weird. You're weird. I've told that from a very early age, but I was conflicted because I actually liked myself. Even though people told me I was different and I was weird, I actually really liked myself. And that was a conflict for me because the way that they presented you're different and you're weird was not a good thing, right? So I think that if you're here in this space, that you feel the same way. That on some level you feel like you're here to help people change their lives, and in a major way. Like you're here to make some huge impact and some life-shifting changes for people. And you probably have felt, or maybe even now you're feeling like this is something that I'm being called to do. One of the things that happens when you get clear on your messaging is that you start to, and this can be a little bit scary, but you start to move into who it is that you are supposed to be, what it is that you're supposed to be talking about, what it is that you're supposed to be sharing, because it's just who you are. You can't not share it because that's what you're here for exactly. And the other part of that is when I was thinking, when I was looking at all of the information that I found on Google about me, and I remember how the reason why I kept trying to leave this space of talking about being soul led and tapping into your soul line messaging and your soul aligned energy and all that kind of stuff, like I've always tried to leave it. It's just like I went and I started creating like pillows and cups and bedspreads. Like I still like to do that because I like home decor, but so I left it trying to do that. And then what did I do while I was creating these beautiful pillows and everything? I started being led to create more soul aligned stuff within that industry. Just like, it's crazy. Then I came back into the coaching area and trying to, like, not wanting to talk about being soul led and soul aligned and the soul aligned energy and all that. But I came back into it because I always kept being led right back here to all that same message. And then I tried to leave it again because honestly, the reason why is because I didn't think that it was profitable. And I was hell bent on having a business that allowed me to just be myself. And like I had this in my head that no, I get to just have a business by just sharing all the things that I love, and I get to just get paid for it. And because that's what freedom looks like for me, that's the kind of business I want. But I didn't have the belief in that could actually happen. And so I kept trying to leave it for something that I thought was profitable, right? That's not profitable. I'm going to do what's profitable. So then I became a web designer, which I love building websites. It's a great hobby for me, but it was not fun to build websites for other people. So it was like, now, people were just like, you're great at building websites. Like, you should be a website designer. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try that. That's profitable. And it was. It was profitable. But then I lost my love for building websites, because when you are doing it for fun and it's something that you love, and then you bring in trying to do that for other people, then it kind of crosses, well, for me, I'll speak for myself, it crossed the line for what was actually fun for me. Having to basically take orders from people, was, it kind of lessened the fun. It lessened the amount of creativity that I had, and it may be different for other people, and that's completely fine. Maybe people, there are lots of web designers that love being web designers because of the amount of creativity that they get to have trying to find something or trying to build something for someone else. Perfectly fine. Didn't work for me. Didn't work for me, right? So again, and while I was even being a web designer, I was a web designer for new entrepreneurs. And then what I was finding is that I was getting right back into coaching, even though I tried to leave, was getting right back into coaching, because even as a web designer, the people didn't really know what was to go on their website. They didn't know what their messaging was. They didn't understand the connection between, this is not just something that you put on the web. It's more like just an extension of who you are. If someone was to meet you, then that's what your website is. It's just like them meeting you. And so words needed to go on the page, and that was not something that I was there for. I was there to create the website, not actually help you build the words and, all of what it was that was about who you are. You were supposed to bring that to me, and then I would make it happen. But they didn't know that. And so here I was going back into coaching again, and the coaching was always about, well, who are you? What is soul calling you to do? What is your message? Same thing, like I could not get away from it. I always ended up right back there. No matter how many times I tried to step away from teaching this, I was always ending right back here. And for the life of me, I was baffled. This went on for 6 freaking years. 6 years of me trying to leave and being brought right back. Leave, trying to, and being brought right back. And me still having the belief that this is not something that I can actually teach and then live the kind of lifestyle that I want to live, because people don't want to pay for that. It's not profitable. So I have to do something different. And then maybe I can do that whole teaching that on the side, but I have to do something different in order to live and eat and pay my electric bill and, raise my kids. So I didn't actually figure out that that wasn't true until 2 years ago. And that's why I say that I feel like now I'm coaching on something different, even though I'm not. I really am not. But it feels that way to me because I just figured out 2 years ago, of the 8-year span that I've been coaching, that that wasn't true. That total belief was not true. That you actually do get to coach on what it is that your heart whatever makes your heart sing, whatever lights you up, whatever feels so good to you, and it feels good to you, and it makes your heart sing and it's lighting you up. And because of that, that is what you're supposed to be teaching on. That's what you're supposed to be coaching on, or facilitating on, or leading on, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever your title is. So I want to ask you, what are you pushing aside because you believe that it's not profitable? Like, what is it that keeps constantly coming up for you that is something that you just have to do in your life? And I'm actually, like, a lot of this, what I'm talking about right now, is something that is going to be coming up in Freedom Rebels. So I hope that you guys join me. Anyway, again, Freedom Rebels is free. It's going down right here in the group, so you don't have to go anywhere or do anything. I would prefer that you sign up, just so that I know when people sign up for the free things, it lets me know that they're interested. That's the only reason why I really have signups, but I also give out bonuses when people sign up. So, okay. How are your current set of beliefs keeping you from coaching masterfully and building the business you dream of having? Big question, big question. And this is a question that I'm asking you because, like I said, for 6 years, I didn't believe that I could actually build a business based off of me just sharing things and getting paid. Like, just me sharing the things that I love, talking about what it is that is helping me to step into my next level identity, me being certain and sure that, and so super confident in my ability to coach anybody to get any results. Like, I didn't think that that was a possibility because, well, I just didn't have belief in it. I didn't believe that I could actually build a business that was just about me sharing the things. And so when it's so funny to me when I think about it, because as I was looking through all the things, now don't y'all go Google my name, don't do it. Y'all gonna see a bunch of stuff I don't want y'all to see. But anyway, when I was looking at all the things, I actually sent some of it to my bestie. I'm just like, can you believe this? Oh my gosh, like this is the same stuff I'm talking about right now, and it's such a different belief that I had then about about the business that I could create and being able to really be masterful in my coaching. Like that was something that's always been super super important to me. It's not just about being able to coach, but being masterful. Like I want to know my shit. You know, I want them to know and feel like that anybody that comes to me, of course, we're talking about people that come to you that are actually coachable. That's a given, right? We're not talking about the people who aren't. We're talking about the people who are coming to you who actually want coaching, that I can help them to get any result that they want. Like that was something that was super, super important to me. And it's something that I still teach today, is really being masterful at coaching, because not just because that's what your clients deserve, or it's because what you deserve. It's when it's a different story when you show up to a coaching session and you have no fear. Like, not saying that you have no fear. Like the fear is not going to stop you. It's the difference between the fear being, um, let's see, it's a difference between the fear being, I don't know how to help them, or I'm not sure that I can help them, to the fear just being, oh, this is a new client. And of course you have a little bit of excitement and fear all mixed in because it's just you're getting on a call. So those are two different things. And I no longer have a fear that I can't help the person that I'm getting on the phone with, or in my group programs, or even, on free things. It's like I have no fears of whatsoever that I cannot help someone get the results that they're wanting, because of the barcode and knowing that everything stems from your belief. Like that has just given me so much confidence. Nobody can tell me nothing. But that doesn't mean that I don't still feel a little, get the little butterflies that I'm getting ready to get on a call sometimes with someone and have a little bit of doubt, because that's just who we are as human beings. That, oh my goodness, the doubt that I'm talking about is, oh my goodness, this is a new person, or I wonder what kind of problem they're going to bring me, and oh my goodness, like that. Those kind of fears are going to be there all the time, but not as much. They get to just kind of not melt away, but kind of melt away. They kind of just like here it is. They're there, but they don't matter. Like they're there, but they don't matter, and they're only there like in a minuscule way. Whereas when you're first starting, the fears are huge, and you've got all of them. Then they just kind of start to dissipate, and they're still there, but they're just like, instead of there being 3,000, there's maybe 100, or instead of being 100, there's like two, right? And you can work with two. Like that's not something that's going to stop you from showing up in your best energy. Plus, with having tools to be able to show up in your best energy, and barcode and evaluation process and all of that kind of stuff, then it just makes everything so much better. Anyway, so I want to just offer you guys that today. Go ahead and do those 3 questions. They're right there in the description of this video, and just see what comes up for you. See what comes up for you. And we're going to dive more into this in Freedom Rebels. So I will see you guys next week, starting Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, right here in the group. And if you have not signed up for it, then you can just do a search for Freedom Rebels in the group, the little search thing, and then you'll find just about every post probably has to sign up for it. I will see you guys next Wednesday. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.